Salsura representing Naeem District. For me, personally, I always start my day with a fresh cup of coffee because I believe that each and every day of fresh and being lively, there's a sustainable amount of coffee behind it. So, to get that sustainable amount of coffee, we need to follow the four fundamentals of brewing. But before that, as you see, I have used a coffee press. So, reason to use a coffee press is because coffee press retains the flavorful oil of the coffee, resulting in rich and aromatic cup of coffee. So that's why I have used a coffee press. For the coffee press, portion, grind, water, and freshness are the three fundamentals of brewing. Proportion is the ratio of coffee to water, which results in rich and aromatic, proper extracted cup of coffee. So for this one, I have used a 17 gram of coffee, even though it's 80. I have used a 17 gram of coffee with 310 ml of water because that's the required gram, and then the water. Second, moving on to the grind. There's no universal grind. Grind is always determined by its brewing method. In the Starbucks, we are using a 6 kind of press. But for the coffee press, we will always use a coarse grind in beating machine. It's number 9, French press. So, moving on, now we will add the water. So for the water, our coffee is 98% of water, so the water we are using should have two components, purity, temperature. Purity should not have any kind of taste or smell like iron, sulfur, chemical. It should be pure and fresh. Tap water is okay as long as it's fresh. Moving on to the temperature, temperature should be 90 degree to 96 degrees Celsius. As for the Fahrenheit, it should be 195 degree Fahrenheit to 205 degree Fahrenheit. So moving on to the freshness. We are very keen about freshness of our coffee. There's because there's two special things in our coffee bag also. One is one-way valve, the other is flavor lock bag. So the work of one-way valve, because our coffee itself produces carbon dioxide. So one-way valve let those carbon dioxide out and prevent oxygen from getting in. And when the flavor lock bag is made from 4 special features known as nylon, polyester, polyethylene, and foil. Those 4 components also prevents 4 enemies which known as a light, oxygen, heat, and moisture from entering our coffee bag. So also the another feature of a flavor lock bag is to our customer they can smell or get the aroma of the coffee without opening. All you need to do is squeeze and then inhale so that you can feel what kind of aroma it has. So those are the 4 key fundamentals of brewing. So I will guide you through the coffee tasting. But before that, let's know why we are doing the coffee tasting. Actually, it's a culture of our Starbucks, something that we are very proud and that we are doing every day in order to enhance our knowledge about our coffee, cultivating relationship, and also building our skills about our coffee. And if there's ever a customer asking us what kind of coffee we are selling, so we can give them fully experience through words only. But before starting the coffee tasting, let's put smile on our face. Let's smile. So the first step would be smelling the coffee. So how to smell your coffee is first cup in hand over your cup, pull it toward your nose and then inhale. After inhaling the coffee, you will get the aroma. So what's an aroma? Because we all have different moods, right? So the smell can be different also. Our mouth can distinguish 5 kinds of taste, which are known as sweet, sour, bitter, umami, and salty. As you notice, there's no spice. Our nose can distinguish 1 trillion of smells, so it's very different, right? That's why it is important to smell your coffee. So how the smell can be different? It can be fruity, earthy, nutty, or herbal. So aromas are always determined by its growing region. So whatever surround the coffee actually result in taste or aroma also. So in the Starbucks, all the coffees are from 3 growing regions: Latin America, Asia Pacific, and then the Africa. As for the Pike Place, it's from Latin America coffee. Latin America coffee is known to have bright or tangy kind of acid. So the aroma of our Pike Place, what kind of aroma is it? Something like what kind of smell you get? So aroma for our Pike Place is slightly toasted, not
Toasted milk.
So that's how aroma is connected with the taste also. So how aroma is, that's the taste also. Moving on to the slurping. In the slurping, there's a cue. Louder, the better. Reason to prevent our tongue from burning because it's hot. And then to spread the coffee in our entire tasting palate. In our mouth, we have 3 tasting palates. Okay? Side, back of our jaw. After slurping the coffee, you will get the acidity. So what's an acidity? Acidity is not the pH level, it's the tartness or tanginess of the coffee, which you can feel when you are eating something like citrus, lemon or orange. Right? It can be, if you feel less citrusy, then it can be low or medium or too much citrusy, high. So please slurp your coffee and tell what kind of acidity. So louder the better. Let's make a sound. What kind of acidity you feel? It's fresh.
Yeah.
So acidity of our pike is supposed to be medium acidity. Acidity is always determined by its processing method. In the Starbucks, all the coffees are processed in 3 ways, which are washed, semi-washed, and natural. But before that, let's know what the processing method is. Well, processing method is simply a method which removes the coffee bean from its fruit. So, for the pie place, we have used a wash processing method. That's the only processing method which uses fermentation, which means our coffee beans and water sit together in a tank for 18 to 36 hours. It's a longer time, so more acidity also. Moving on to the body, location. So what's the location? Location is about heaviness of the coffee on your tongue. Like when you are eating drinking skim milk, it's like a lighter on the tongue, right? And if you are eating a full fat milk, it's a heavier on the tongue. So that's what we call body. You can slurp the coffee again and tell whether you feel light, medium, or heavy, or full body. Body of our pie place is actually medium body. So at the third step, body is always determined by its roasting profile. In the Starbucks, all the coffees are roasted in 3 ways, which are blonde, medium, and then the dark. For the pie place, it's from a medium roasted profile coffee. Medium roasted profile coffee known to have mouthfeel with a balanced kind of flavor. So at the third step, we will connect it with the food pairing also. In the food pairing, there's 2 things to be precise, which is how and then why. And why we do a food pairing is to enhance the flavor of our coffee. Enhance word means if the food we are pairing with our coffee highlights the taste of our coffee instead of dominating, that means enhancing. So, for the better comparison or pairing for pie place is something with chocolate. So, I choose molten muffin. Oh, with the chocolate. And how to do a food pairing is slurp the coffee, eat the food, slurp the coffee, and eat the food again. So that it will enhance the taste of our coffee. Also, if there's ever the customer asking us what kind of food we have in Starbucks, I did make it up. So we can give them full experience also. Like, this coffee goes better with this food, right? I need to demonstrate? No. First should be slurping the coffee. You will feel that the taste goes better.
Yeah, exactly.
Even better taste you will feel of the coffee.
It's very delicious.
Thank you. So that's how you do a food pairing. Moving on to the first step, which is describe. Describe, you will describe everything about the pie place and how was your experience throughout the coffee tasting. So pie place is balanced, well-rounded, medium body, medium acidity, with a subtle cocoa and slightly toasted nuts flavor. Right? Also, the pie place was first introduced in our Starbucks in 2008. Pie place is actually made from the feedback of our customer to meet their daily needs. If you heard EDB, everyday brew, that's pie place also. Because you can go with sugar or as black as it is, or you can compare it with the whipping cream also, which meets the daily needs of our customer, because our customer is our top priority in Starbucks. So that's everything about our pie place. Also, moving on to the packaging. The name pie place, it It can be anything. It can be Roshani, Ate Miss,
Ma'am Sarah.
or Miss Sarah, but they choose Pike Place. The reason is because our first store, our journey was have been in a Seattle's Pike Place market. That's the place where it opened. That's why the name represents our store, our beginning. And the 71 also represent our beginning in the world. Starbucks, 1971. Because 1971 was the day we opened our first store. And then, so how was the store look like? You can see the side. On the side, you will see the picture of the store. That's the store first taken picture if you want to see a little bit closer. And then, right about the other side, there's a 1950. That's a postal zip code of that area, at the Seattle Pike Place Market in USA. So that's all the packaging about our Pike Place. And if you see here, there's a key. So what this key means? This key was actually belonged to our former CEO, Howard Skulls. Whenever he have to think something bigger for our Starbucks, he usually go to our store, open, even though it's closed. He has this personal key that open and then do some brainstorming in order to improve our coffee quality for our customers and everything. And when he stepped down as a CEO in 2017, he gave this key to our new CEO, Kevin Jones. But now our CEO is different also. So that's all information about Pike Place. And at last, how I can connect myself with our Pike Place is, our Pike Place is made from the feedback of our customer, which means we are making it better and better in order to meet that quality, that flavor, that taste or satisfaction for our customer. For me also, where I am right now, comparing to where I was starting my journey 1 year, I was a very shy person, not too much talkative. It takes me 1 month to be talkative with my partners. At that time, I never thought that I will compete. So I'm here with the feedback of my partners. Like, you need to improve at this, you need to do it. And then not only like you need to improve, they're also supporting me in my journey. Like, yes, you're doing this good, doing that good. So if ever I receive new joiners or anyone, I want to do same. Not only my store, but other stores. I want to encourage them to become out their own shell. So they can be freedom. So they can also challenge their limit to be limitless. Just like our Pike Place, it's limitless. So we can always give them every day growth. So that's everything about our Pike Place. Thank you for listening to me.
Good job. Thank you.
Connect yourself. Yeah. Okay, and then your subtopic.
And my subtopic would be under packaging. If you see a little bit up, there's committed to 100% ethical sourcing, right?
Yeah.
So what's in our commitment? See, our mother nature is infinite, which means the things we can get from our mother nature is limited, right? Like we are growing something, the soil will be damaged. If we are not doing anything, just taking and taking. So in Starbucks, we are doing something in order to lessen the damage for our mother nature, because our mother nature is the source of everything. So the Starbucks, we are committed not only the growing process, also in the purchasing. Our farmers, they might not get the proper purchasing money, right? So we are doing everything in us to get them equitable price for their high quality Arabica coffee, giving meaning to our last 10 feet. Our farmers, our roosters, everyone who has been involved in the production of the coffee, it's on our hand. So we are the one who is making the perfect cup of coffee for our customer in order for them to get satisfied, so that they will also be happy. If our customer is happy, that means we are giving the responsibility or the respect of our everyone, farmers, roosters, master roosters, and whoever is included in the coffee productions. So it's a very long journey. Yes. Just at the last, in the Starbucks, we are not only thinking about our business. We are thinking about everyone. So even though the farmers may not sell to us, we are still helping them in order for them to grow better cup of coffee. Even though they might not sell, who cares? It's for our mother nature, right? For our future generation. Through Starbucks or through any other company, they can still get the perfect cup of coffee, lessening the damage in our mother nature. So thank you for listening to me.
Good job.
Good job, Roshani. So, what would you share with the customer about Starbucks' commitment to ethical sourcing and copy practices?
So, to be more simple way, because if I'm talking too big, we are the employees, so we are learning and reading everything. But for our customer, everything in Starbucks is about human connection, like how we are talking to our customer, what kind of coffee they are getting. But our customer might not know the coffee they are drinking. There's so much hard work behind it. Not only us. That's our commitment to 100% ethical sourcing our coffee. So what's an ethical sourcing, right? Ethical sourcing is about our commitment to not only our present generation, but also the future generation to fulfill their needs without compromising. Our future generation needs us. If we take everything we can get from Mother Nature now, what about the future? What about our future customers? They might not get, right? So what we are doing is we are producing coffee not environmentally only, but socially responsible way also. Taking responsibilities for our farmers. Because if we are providing them the best way to learn to get perfect cup of coffee, they will get motivated. Not only motivation, we are providing them the equitable prices also, being economically responsibility to them. So they can give more and more perfect cup of coffee for our customers. In ethical sourcing, we are connected with the Conservation International also. Conservation International, we connect with them in 1998. They are similar with us. They are also working in order to lessen the damage for our Mother Nature. Some of the example is like we are using the wooden cutlery, right? That's a big step in Starbucks because a little bit in the time we might use in plastics, but now we are using a wooden. And the reason is this plastic, it takes so many years in order to dissolve in the Mother Nature. But for the wooden, it does not take too much long, right? So that's one step. And then the straw also, we are using a paper straw instead of a plastic straw. That's the second step. It will be increasing. Our step we will keep trying to increase in order to lessen the damage to our Mother Nature. That's everything about our ethical source, giving responsibility not to only the Mother Nature, but also to our farmers.
So, you're talking about the ethical sourcing. So, we have a farmer support center, right? You have idea about you have three regions. You have any idea about the farmer support center now? Can you give it by region?
Actually, the coffee we are getting, not only like, okay, buy and then give to our customer. There's three teams, big teams who are actually ensuring the quality of our coffee. There's a process in a way that they are taking, okay, this is good for our customer. Okay, this is okay to roast. That time, there's three teams. Farmer Support Center, Starbucks Coffee Trading Company, and then Global Coffee Quality Team. So Farmer Support Center are the one who's providing on-the-ground support for our farmers. What they are doing is helping our farmers in order to improve their way to make the quality coffee. How to lessen the damage in our Mother Nature and how to create or produce even more higher quality coffee. So in that, there's an included team who are coffee quality team, ergonomists, and then the coffee practices also. I said that there's a three growing region we are buying coffee, right? Latin America, Asia Pacific, and Africa. In the three growing region, there's a separate farmer support center where they are providing the supports. In the Latin America, there's a five. So I will tell one. Guatemala City, Guatemala, they opened in 2005. So they are providing support in Latin America also. There's a last one, which is in Brazil, Virginia, 2021. It's very recent. And then there we have Africa, Mbeya, Tanzania, 2016. We opened in Africa also. Then Asia Pacific, there's two farmer support center. One of them is Yunnan, China, 2012. Yes. So we are actually not only telling that we are being socially responsible, but actually doing in our work. There's a very vast difference in I want to do and I will do. In Starbucks, everyone choose I will do. So for my store also, I choose I will do. Not I wish to do. I want to do and I did it. So I want to grow even more. so for others to inspire that, yeah, which one you want to choose? I wish or I want? So I want them to be I want, not only wish. Right? Thank you.
Diba? Regarding for the ethical sourcing, you chose Pike Place. How you can relate the ethical sourcing in the Pike Place?
Actually, when around the time for the Pike Place to come now, so there's a global crisis. So many companies were going down. Not only Starbucks, every company were getting affected. Like last time we have pandemic, right? It was similar at that time also. Global crisis resulting in more than 600 stores to close down at that time. So our former CEO Howard Skulls came with 5 big initiatives, which one of them was Pike Place. So Pike Place was so special because Pike Place was the first coffee that has been certified as a fair trade
Fair trade.
coffee. What's a fair trade means is actually we are providing the proper practices in order to grow a Arabica coffee which is high quality, also providing the equitable price for our farmers, which motivates them to be even more and more responsible to provide the perfect cup of coffee.
Okay, last question, Miss Roshani. Why would you like, if you win National Barista Champion, so what would you plan?
So my plan as per, I actually made the plan for my store already and we are trying to achieve that in a daily basis. And that there's a simple only like quality beverages and how to connect with the customer. It's for my store. But if I'm already in the district championship, but now if I were to be a national championship, that will open my door for the knowledge. And also not only for my knowledge, for my partners, not only my store, but other store. Which means I can go outside, not only my store, for them to be motivated. Not only like talking, but I will try to show them an example. Because some of us might not only, we can learn from visually, right? Not only listening. So I will try to give them visual examples. I know I need to extend my time, but it's okay as long as my company and my partners can grow with that. So I will give my
Very
full
good.
support for
Excellent.
my partners learning and in order for them to provide that perfect beverage for our customer. Also now that we are doing everything through phone, right? Digitally. Like even the scanning or you can order through the phone also. But in the Starbucks, we are all about human connection.
Yes,
So
perfect.
yeah, we are providing customer a good quality of human connection. Like we are saying hello, good morning. But I will try to let them know how to make it best, not only good. Like means personalizing the moment. Like we are personalizing.
Yes,
right?
Ma'am Sarah.
So you will
We really
remember.
appreciated.
You will have a good memory.
Yours.
Last time I went to Starbucks
Yeah.
and did this and this, yes. So I will try to let them know that you can do it with your customer. Some of Miss Sarah like customer day we will
Yeah.
have so that you can
We're so lucky
personalize the
Ma'am Sarah is
moment.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great experience for us
Yes.
also, not only for our customer, right? Whatever as long as you are in the company, try to grow yourself. Yes, which we learn from our coffee. Our coffee which is from small soil, a small cherry is grown to be such a big company, Starbucks. So I want them to grow themselves, not only, let's say, practice, maybe not perfect, but let's be consistent. Yes. That's everything I will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sitting with us, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Sarah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you.